Principle number 5. Over the course of the summer, take some opportunities to train in a way that's actually going to prepare you for your race demands. So now we get to some specifics. Over the summer, it is a time that you get to ride your bike outside a little bit more. And a key part of nailing your full Ironman or your autumn Ironman is to take advantage to get race ready. So many athletes simply go about carrying on training, completing workouts. What they miss is actually this wonderful opportunity in the training routine under the umbrella of everything we've talked about so far, preparing for the demands of race day. And so think about a few opportunities over the course of your June, July, into August months of training that you are integrating a few, and it doesn't need many, but a few Ironman simulators. So this is how we do this. You want to gain a few things. And a classic session that this might look like for an Ironman is you might program a big day that integrates into the rest of your life, as we talked about it, that perhaps is 4 hours of bike riding with some intervals that are at or above your planned Ironman race pace. And after that 4-hour bike ride, you might run 40, 50, 60 minutes off the bike. It's pretty demanding. It's not an Ironman in itself, but it's 4 hours plus up to an hour. So a 5-hour workout. And over the course of this time, you have a wonderful opportunity to gain an understanding of yourself, to develop the tool that we talked about in a recent show, your internal compass, a sense of perceived effort, and master some of the key components that we know unlock race day performance in Ironman. So let's go through. Number 1, start to develop your mastery of perceived effort. You've got to know what it feels like. You need to dial in your feel of race pace. And so, yes, leverage your metrics, your heart rate, your power meter, your pace on the run, etc. But the most important thing to realize is your body is your most effective power meter. Now, we did a whole episode on this recently, so I don't want to walk over well-trodden ground. Go back and listen to that episode on perceived effort, but realize that Ironman simulators are a great way to understand what happens as you start to get fatigued. And it's a little trickier to hold time position. It's a little nasty to get off the bike, open up those hip flexors and have good posture and get to good leg speed. Start to develop an understanding of what fatigue does to your form and posture and pace. And start to master that. Because you're going to want to, on race day itself, have a keen understanding of what it should feel like so that you can moderate your effort. And so that's a wonderful opportunity that you can do multiple times over the summer. The second thing that you can think about is your equipment. Setting your bike up on the planned equipment that you're going to use on race day. Even, I know there's a little bit of nerdery here, wearing your race gear, your aero helmet, maybe your race wheels if you do need to train and race on different wheels for racing. Start to lock it in. And with that, go through your routine. What are you going to have for breakfast? What are you going to do the night before? What's your pre-planned meal? Getting out there on the bike and going through the fueling and hydration that you intend to leverage and being keenly aware. Even weigh yourself before and after the session to see what it does to your fluid balance. And try and nail down that specific session, 4 hours with 1 hour run off, whatever it might be. That's a part of the training program we won't get into, but some form of simulator at or above your race intensity, and make sure that you're locked in how you're going to carry your fuel and hydration, what your timing is, what it's going to be comprised of, how does it react, how's your stomach, how's your energy management. Lock it in. And that becomes really important. Now, these simulators, come back to point number 1, need to be programmed in advance, and it's really valuable if you have important constituents in your life, your partner, your wife, your husband, as well as your kids, etc., that they're locked in and everybody understands that this weekend, maybe in June, one in July, a couple in August, these are the weekends where these simulators are going to occur, and they fit into life. They're not competing with life. But it helps you practice your mindset, practice your pacing, understand your energy management, and force you into a bit of problem solving. I can't tell you, when you really do these well, and they become key little moments, quite often they're more valuable than just racing another half Ironman. They're really valuable simulators. Treat them like a mini race, not to see if you're ready for validation, but to enable you to make mistakes, to learn from them, to develop, so that when you show up on race day, it is familiar. You're still going to have the bright lights of the race and all of the competition, but your body, your mind is ready. You have a plan and you understand it's something that works for you. Not for Johnny, your neighbor, not for Jenny, who's a great athlete and has done a million of these things, for you. And it's really powerful. Now, I can't talk about summer training. I can't talk about Ironman racing without talking about habits very briefly. Bulletproof yourself. Remember, habits, the supporting ones, they are your secret weapon. This is the bedrock of Purple Patch. We can't talk about setting yourself up for a successful fall Ironman without at least tipping our hat to habits. I've said it for years. You're not training for a race. You're building a lifestyle that sustains high performance. The race will emerge out of that. And so training for an Ironman isn't just about being physically tough and committed. It's not about checking the boxes of sessions. It's about building resilience to handle the training inside a full and complete busy life. This means that if you're going to do this summer, I know life is chaotic, you've probably got some travel coming up, but you've got to realize sleep is your superpower. That is your performance enhancer. And guess what? It's absolutely free. Sleep. Get it. Smart fueling. Not just on the race simulators that we talked about, but day to day. Consume enough calories. Post-workout fueling. Lock it in. Make sure that outside of your training sessions, it's hot and it's humid outside. Dial in your hydration. Maintain your strength training. And ensure that you integrate breathing room, intentional recovery. Go on the rhythm. This is what it looks like. It's important. If you don't have these habits in place, and it's why in postseason and preseason we talk so much about it for our athletes, ingrain these as habits. Because if you haven't locked it in by now and you don't focus on it, you're going to struggle. I really want you to dial this in. Now realize that over the course of the summer months, there are going to be times you've got late nights, your schedule is way outside of the norm. Maybe you have a little bit of extra alcohol over the course of holidays or at barbecues or whatever you like. All of that is okay. It's great. You want to have these moments. You don't want to let life be shackled. It's okay to go out onto these nights and occasions. But build a bedrock of baseline where most days you're doing things right. And it's going to really, really help you. And so what's principle number 7? I talked about habits, but now let's talk about the final defining component. We started with an optimization mindset. We talked about flexibility. We talked about not being so static in our training. I want you to remember this over the summer. If you're getting ready for something that is incredibly challenging and really important to you, and you want to excel in the fall, you're doing a big Ironman, it's going to help you to remember principle number 7. This is an adventure. I don't want you to lose the joy. This is, Max, what's that word? That's right, fun. This is fun. Over 20 years of coaching, I've seen this over and over and over again. The best performances of athletes seldom come from perfect training. I'm going to say that again. The best performances that I've seen from athletes seldom come from just checking the box on perfect training. They emerge when the athletes are smart and they show up to races energized, focused, but excited, joyful, ready to go. If you're constantly through this journey of weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months that it takes to get ready for an Ironman, if you're consistently dragging, tired, counting down the days, that's not toughness, it's a warning sign. This summer journey should feel meaningful, not always easy, but filled with a sense of purpose, a little bit of progress, maybe a flywheel of momentum. It's not about avoiding struggle or being scared of fatigue, but it's about having fun. Have a little bit of flexibility in it and enjoy it. I just had an athlete who's gone through a huge journey of turbulence after being hit by a car, priming, training for an Ironman, and getting hit by a car and having her body put together again. A multi-year journey. Coming back, and a couple of weekends ago, Jenna went and raced the Alcatraz Triathlon. And I said, go and do the race, but treat it like an adventure. Don't take it too seriously. I know you're a good athlete, but don't take it too seriously. Swim, ride a road bike on this course that's very twisty and turny. Go and run, have fun. Just go and treat it like an adventure. We didn't even have a race plan. I said, let the body do what it wants to do. Do the swim, ride your bike strong, run. And when the body feels good, run stronger and go from there. She ended up an age group winner. She had the freedom of exploration. And it emerged out of a really, really flexible training mindset where she was just having fun in training under a structure of specific sessions. Much of what we talked about today, the epitome of a purple patch athlete. She wove consistency in training mixed with joy and fun and adventure. And so here's the recap. Number one, adopt an optimization mindset. Try and enable life to be your training partner, not your enemy. Number two, plan every week with intention. Understand what you want to get out of the training block, but also what is the most important thing that you can do this week to ensure that life and training partner together. Number three, integrate the reflection. Before you charge into all of this, look back. What was good? Where did I lose focus and not do so well? What do I need to do now? Really important. Number four, reset. I really encourage you to have 5 days, 7 days, 10 days of unstructured training before you just charge through and start to get ready for an Ironman. I don't want you to show up in a fog of fatigue. I want to see you show up as a fit and fresh athlete. Number five, build the habits that support. It's an always there. I have to say it. Number six, don't forget your simulators. Really important over the course of the summer. It's a great opportunity. Do some bike and runs. You can also do some big swims into bikes and things like that. Simulators take all sorts of different kinds of sessions, but you get the principle. Simulators are key. And finally, above all, make sure this is an adventure. Keep it fun. Keep it fresh.